Okay, hello guys, welcome back to my channel. So I have uh not updated my channel for several days. Yeah, I'm very sorry about that. I apologize to you all. So right back to our lesson for tactics day one. Yeah, this is the day one tactics, and I will upload the server episode for day two, day three, and also day four. Yeah, until I can't figure out any techniques at all. Yeah, it's just a joke. So for today's tutorial, I will teach you about tactics. So first of all is the variation of four steps made, which is the beginner must known tactics. So the notation is like this: e4, e5, and right now white's plan is to attack the very weak squares in f7, and also black's idea is to attack on the white squares f2. So right now we can go for queen h5 and try to capture the e5 pawn, and also you can see that the f7 pawn is also attacked. So right now blacks can play for knight to c6, which tries to protect the pawn in e4, e5. So yeah, white can play for bishop to c4 to capture the f7. Black plays for knight to f6 to try to attack on the h5 queen and also e4 pawn. So yeah, we can go for queen to f7, and it is a checkmate, and it is pro step mate, a very well known for step mate. So yeah, back to the e4, e5, queen to h5, and right now there's a lot of variation for blacks too, and one of the more popular most is for beginners will do is g6, which tries to attack on the h5 and chase away the white queen to back to d1. However, I think that uh there's another option for white, that is queen to e5, which tries to attack the king on e8 and capture the rook on h8. After queen to e7, queen takes h8 is a gate of rook. So this is a second variation for queen to h5. The third variation for queen to h5 is e4, e5, queen to h5, d6. After d6, we can also conduct our plan by bishop to c4, knight to c6, and queen to f7 checkmate. This is another plan for white. But this is the third variation. So the fourth variation is by queen to h5 and knight to f6. After this move, white can play for queen to e5, which is a game of pawn with 1 marks, and blacks can play for queen to e7, white just capture and bishop capture, knight to c3 protect the pawn. So this is the fourth variation for e4 and queen h5 variation. So back to our e4 pawn. So I would like to introduce another trap for black, which is the advanced tactics for chess players. Yeah, you can read up e4, e5, and back to f3, and not to do e5, knight to f3. There is a lot of variation like knight to f6, bishop to c4, bishop to c5, and it becomes Italian variation. So you can see this position, it is Italian variation. And well, instead of knight to c6, we can play for knight to f6. Knight to f6 is tries to exchange of pawns, as you can see very clearly in the board. White plans on e5. Yeah, he thinks of the e5 pawn is free, and there is no tactics here, because of after queen to e7, there might be d4 to protect the pawn, but after that d6 is a threat for capture it. So after knight back and knight takes back. And if you play for knight to c3 is a very dangerous move, since knight takes is a check. As a check on queen and also capture on the queen. If you play for queen to e2, just knight takes and you win the whole queen in the board. Yeah. So instead of this thread, I will introduce another thread for you, that is after the knight to e5, instead of queen to e7, I will play for knight to c6, which is a very advanced move. And after knight to c6, white will think that he would like to protect the pawn in e5, e4, and well, since the knight is able to capture, so he would capture the knight in c6. After that, just capture back, and to protect the pawn in e4, he will play for d6 to protect the pawn in e4. Now we will play for bishop to c5 to develop our pieces in the board. Bishop e2, which tries to castle at here, and you will see that for white's plan we will play for h4, h5, h5, h4, h3 to break through the pawn wall in the king side. But we will play for h4 h5 right now, but not with the idea to penetrate the wall, but to knight to g5, knight to g4, which tries on the h2 and also f2. If the rook is run away, we can play from bishop here, check, and capture the rook. If he plays for h3, instead of rook to e1, we can place for a move which tries to checkmate. If you are very keen in the opening, keen in tactics, I think you could pause the video right now and try on to figure out what the move is. Okay, I will announce the answer right now. That is queen to d6, which tries on the h2 checkmate. If you place on something like g3, we just simply take the pawn and check, and you cannot take the queen back because of the bishop check. So that's the only move for white, that is king to h1 and queen to h2 checkmate. Yeah, you would say that queen to d6, it cannot provide a checkmate in h2 because of we can take a knight on g4. But after that, after capture by the pawn, you will see that rook here is also protect the queen to h2, supporting the queen to h2 to check the king. Yeah, right now if you play for something like queen to g1, you just play for check here and checkmate. If you play for something like f3, something like g3, we just play on the queen to g3 as we see soon. As you see before then, because of the queen is protecting by the bishop. Yeah. So if we place for bishop capture, we just checkmate will do. Yeah. So this is the tactics for today, and it is a day 1 tutorial. I will upload the day 2 tutorial as soon as possible if I could. So thank you for watching. I will see you in the next lesson. Goodbye.